So many people talk about the Leaving Cert, and on here, on YouTube, on social media sites, on blogs, everybody talks about tricks and tips on how to study better, on how to relieve stress. But nobody talks about the students. Nobody talks about what it emotionally feels like to go through the Leaving Cert. Because everybody just expects people in this day and age to keep their emotions in. People should be allowed to express their emotions. I know from just my school alone, there would be people who would leave class, go home early because of panic attacks, crying over results that they got, or just having a bad day. But teachers give out, or they're dossing, oh, they're just the reckless students and we're moving on without them. They don't understand. Things have changed. They will tell you, I've done my Leaving Cert, I've sat this, I've gone through it, now it's your turn. Things have changed since they sat it. When they sat it, yes, it was still a slip of paper. You had 2 hours and you had to regurgitate 3 years, if not 6 years, of a subject onto a page. But now society has changed. Points have gone up to numbers beyond what some people are capable of reaching. People don't understand what it is to be a Leaving Cert student today. It is absolute shit. It is horrifying. You have teachers, guidance counselors, or friends, some people's families who aren't supportive, who put so much pressure on a student. They pick fights with students who aren't smart enough, who aren't getting the grades. They're just left sitting there going, I've tried my hardest. I studied for 2 hours last night for that test, but I still only got a D1. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. In my head, I saw the Leaving Cert as a pregnancy. Yes, I know, a pregnancy. It is 9 months of your life that you are stressed. And in 2 weeks, you go into a stress labor and you give birth to a stress baby. You go through so many emotions. When you start off at the very start of the year, everyone's like, yes, okay, we can do this. Let's just get this done. And then you get to October tests and things seem to slow down. And you realize that there's still 7 months left of this and you're already starting to burn out. But no, you have to keep going. You have to study 3 to 4 hours a night while also doing your homework and keeping up with class tests. What? And if you're in the Leaving Cert now, or you're going into it, or you've just gone through it, you will know the feeling that some mornings you woke up and you just did not want to go to school solely because you were too tired to get out of bed, because you're drained. You look around and you see everybody else seems to have a front up, so you swallow your emotions and you realize, okay, everybody else looks fine. I need to fit in. I need to pretend everything's okay. But that's not good. Speak to your friends. Speak to your family. Speak to a teacher you trust. Speak to anyone who will listen to you and tell them, yes, I'm stressed. If you need to cry, cry. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid of your own emotions, because I know everybody else was going through the same thing. Some days then you don't study, and then you feel so guilty and you're getting even more stressed than you possibly could, just because you took a day off, because of the guilt. And then you hear your friends saying, I need to get 625, I need 590, when your course might only be 320 or 470. But it's when you surround yourself with these numbers and points and expectations that it gets too much. And then the society we live in can't understand why there are so many teenagers dying by suicide every year around the time of the Leaving Cert. Some people are actually driven to serious mental health issues. Some people get depression, get extreme anxiety, prone to panic attacks, then overeat or undereat in cases of anorexia or bulimia, and binge eating. And then they expect students to go through with that or take a year out and then go back and start again. They don't accept going into an interview and saying, I had a relative die this year. I was diagnosed with a serious mental illness. I was in an accident and missed 2 months of school. They don't care because they don't look at your name and your story and how you've been when they're correcting your results. No, you are a number. It is so much unneeded stress in students' lives already. They already know that their pre's are coming up. 2 weeks after that, they have their Irish oral. Next week after that, it's French. And the week after that, it's German. And then they have about 3 weeks to the actual leaving cert. But God forbid you do any subject like art or woodwork or construction. You then might have another 2 to 3 exams to do before the leaving cert. So once you roll into the pre's, you are in the leaving cert. It is go, 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 go. Is it? You sleep, school, study, repeat. It's not fair. Students need to learn that yes, okay, you have to study, but there's backdoors into everything. You have people like Richard Branson and Oprah Winfrey who were told that they would never be successful. They are some of the most successful people at this time, but simply because they didn't fit the bell curve, or because they weren't a student being tested on one type of intelligence. There are hundreds of types of intelligence out there. There's people who just are driven by passion and love for something. If you are driven, you can get there. I know that students study a lot. And yes, okay, I get it that it's not going to change for a while, but until we start giving out about it and telling the education system it has to change, this is the way it's going to be. But I want you to know that the feelings you feel of self-doubt, anxiety, that you're just done, that you've given up, you go through all of these. And don't let an exam make you feel like you're worthless or you're a nobody or that you'll never amount to anything. Just remember that you are more than any figure on a page.